Hello, viewers. Welcome back to Snowtastic. My name is Snow, as you already know, and this is our third series of the Photoshop from Scratch saga, I guess. And I'm happy you're here. I'm happy you're still with us and still interested in learning. Um, we're almost halfway through the tools, if not already. And today we're going to be taking 3 more tools to talk about. And I'm going to be talking about these tools in a moment. So the first tool we have is the Spot Healing Brush tool. And what the Spot Healing Brush tool does is it removes marks and blemishes from your photo. That's exactly what it says there, and that's exactly what it does. So you have a mark, or you have something on the face, a scar probably, and there's another part of the face that is fairly okay, and you just want to mask whatever scar is on that face with the clean part, or the part that does not have a scar. Spot Healing Brush tool. Let's jump into Photoshop. I'll show you how that works. All right, so we have the Spot Healing Brush tool selected over here, and we're going to be working with this image. So I'm just gonna hit the zoom tool. I mean, we've not spoken about it, but obviously the zoom tool is, it is the zoom tool. So I'm just gonna zoom in, and to zoom in, I click and drag to the right. And to zoom out, you click and drag to the left. This is a feature I feel like every, well, what I just did right now was to hold space. I held space for the hand tool, and then I clicked, and then you can move around the workspace, the picture, without moving the picture on the page. All right, so we're still gonna zoom a little more. And I'm gonna select the layer we are on. So let's work with the earring. So this space right here, right? We're gonna mask that first with the Spot Healing Brush tool. And the first one, it just works as, it's kind of automated. You see you have content aware on over here, and that just, it picks it on its own. It picks a part of the picture that Photoshop feels has likeness to the part you're trying to work on, and then it just masks that area with whatever patch of space or patch of skin, in this case, that it finds. So we just have a mouse, and I'm just gonna go over it, and Photoshop masks it. Fairly easy. But if you zoom in, you see it's not so, you can hardly see it, but if you work in Photoshop a lot more, you want more control over whatever you do. So while you're growing in Photoshop, eventually you're gonna want to be in control of everything. And under that same menu is that's why we have the Healing Brush tool. So the Spot Healing Brush tool is kind of automated, but then the Healing Brush tool is manual. So I'm gonna hit Command or Control Z to undo that, and we're gonna zoom in again. So that's that same earring, but I'm just gonna use the Healing Brush tool, which was under that menu. I just click and hold, and then release on what I want to select, and that's the Healing Brush tool. With this, you have to pick the area you want to pick, the area you want to duplicate. You have to pick it yourself. So if I wanted to pick right where my mouse is, that spot of skin, and replace the earring with that spot of skin, I'm gonna hit Alt, click on that spot, and then I'm gonna brush over my earring and I'll let it go. It's kind of rough. So let's select another spot. that's kind of all right. That's kind of good. We could try it again with part of the hair. Mind you, this is just a lesson. So Alt, you click once to select, and then you brush over. And we took part of her edges away. All right, so I'm just gonna undo those two things. And then we're gonna go back to the next tool. The next tool is our brush tool. And that's fairly easy. The brush tool it's like your pencil, or it's like your brush in Photoshop. And it basically is what you use to draw. I selected the brush tool, and to increase the size of the brush tool, I'm gonna right click on my mouse, and then I'm gonna just click and drag, and that increases the size. Then I click a new layer because I don't want to ruin that image. I select the color, orange, and then I paint over this. And that's what the brush tool does. So we're gonna go back, and then we're gonna click and hold and select the pencil tool. Pencil tool is kind of small. Let's see if we can increase the size. And then it's basically like the brush tool. I guess it's grittier, and that's just by the way. Now the color replacement tool, I don't use this really. There's a feature in Photoshop called the blending mode, and we're gonna learn about that. This is basically what a blending mode does, but then you have more control when you use a blending mode on your layers than this. But I'm still gonna show you what this does. It just replaces a color already on your photo or in your frame or in your workspace with a color that you select. So we're gonna select the color green, and we're gonna come onto the layer we're working on, and then we're gonna paint over the model's face. And you see that it's replacing her actual complexion with the color that we're painting on her face. You could use this for various stuff, but it's always nice to have control over the stuff you do. But this is just a basic method, and it does work. So play with it and get acquainted with it before we move into the more complex stuff. All right. So the last tool we're going to be talking about today is the clone stamp tool. And the clone stamp tool you use a lot in retouching. It's also like the healing brush tool. It just duplicates something in a frame or something in the workspace on another portion of your workspace. So on this workspace, but then the clone stamp tool also works like the healing brush tool. Remember the healing brush tool, not the spot healing brush tool. The healing brush tool works with an Alt hold and a click to select an area and then duplicate. So we click on the clone stamp tool, and then we're going to select by hitting Alt, holding it, and then we select the eye, and we're going to come over here and then paint the eye on. Easy. And let's go back. Let's zoom in. Let's just say you want to paint an eye on her forehead. We're gonna go back to select our clone stamp tool, hit that, and then brush it in. That is weird. I'm sorry. But yeah, those are basically the three tools we're gonna be looking at today. Join me in the next episode. We're almost done. In the next episode, we're going to be looking at, let's see, the history brush tool, the background eraser tool, or the eraser tool, and the paint bucket tool. If we have more time in that, we'll talk about the smudge tool, and then that leaves us with the burn and dodge tool, and then the pen tools, which means we're almost done, and then we can jump into working in Photoshop. So thank you for joining me, and it's always a pleasure for me to do something like to help someone else. So I just hope that you're learning something and you keep practicing, and then just tell a friend to also join in and learn something, add value to ourselves. Leave a comment in the comment section below if you want to give a shout out or give some ideas. And I'll catch you in the next session. All right, see you now.